2 words ended his art career. A committee in Vienna wrote them on his examination record in October 1907, and the applicant was 18 years old. He was born in 1889 above an inn in the Austrian town called Braunau, the 4th of 6 children, and only he and Paula reached adulthood. His father was a customs official who wanted the same career for his son, and the boy wanted to draw, so the house ran on that argument for years. He failed his way out of secondary school and left at 16 with no qualification, without a trade, and one conviction: that he was an artist waiting to be discovered. His mother died of breast cancer in December 1907, 2 months after the rejection, and the doctor said he had never seen a young man so broken by grief. He applied to the academy a second time in 1908 and was not even allowed to sit the examination, and after that he stopped telling people he had applied. For the next 5 years he sold small painted postcards to tourists in Vienna, copying famous buildings from photographs, because architecture never asked him to draw a convincing human face. He lived in a municipal hostel with hundreds of other residents, and he read cheap political pamphlets in the reading room, which is where Vienna handed him its politics. Vienna was already full of the hatred he would later industrialize, printed in newspapers and shouted by its mayor, and he did not invent any of it. He absorbed it. In 1913, he moved to Munich to avoid Austrian military service, was arrested for it, examined by a doctor, and declared too weak to carry a rifle. 1 year later, he volunteered for the German army instead, and for 4 years he carried messages between headquarters and the front line through the mud of Flanders and France. He was decorated twice, once with the Iron Cross First Class, which was unusual for a corporal, and the officer who recommended him for it, his regimental adjutant, was Jewish. In October 1918, a gas attack near Ypres left him temporarily blind, and he was lying in a hospital bed in Passwalk when he was told Germany had surrendered. A lie was already waiting for him. The army had not been beaten in the field, the story went. It had been stabbed in the back by civilians at home. A year after the surrender, army intelligence sent him to spy on a political party with fewer than 60 members, and he joined the party instead of reporting on it. He had finally found the one thing he was genuinely good at. He could stand in a loud room full of angry men and make them all listen to him. In November 1923, he tried to seize the government by force from inside a beer hall, and the police stopped it by morning with 16 of his men dead. He was sentenced to 5 years and served 9 months in a comfortable cell with visitors, a secretary, and a typewriter, and he used the time to write a book. He came out having learned the lesson that would cost the world everything. Do not attack the state from outside, he decided. Walk in through its own front door. Then the world economy collapsed and did the campaigning for him. By 1932, 6 million Germans had no work, and desperate people listened to anyone with a plan. In July that year, his party became the largest in parliament with 37% of the vote. He never won a majority in a free election, not one. On the 30th of January 1933, the chancellorship was handed to him by conservative politicians, who were absolutely certain that a man of his sort could be controlled. 4 weeks later, the Parliament building burned, and by the following morning, speech, the press, and protection from arrest without charge had all been suspended by emergency decree. 8 weeks after that, the Parliament voted to hand him the power to make laws without it. 441 votes in favour, 94 against. From his appointment to that vote took 53 days, and almost every step of it was legal. Nobody had to break the law, they simply voted it away. 6 years of rearmament and annexations followed, and on the 1st of September 1939, the invasion of Poland turned all of it into the Second World War. That war killed somewhere between 70 and 85 million people, which is roughly 1 in every 30 human beings then alive, and most of them were civilian. 6 million Jewish people were murdered, alongside Roma families, disabled patients, Soviet prisoners, Polish civilians, and political opponents, in a system built and run like a national industry. And the worst of it was not decided on a battlefield. 15 officials met at a villa outside Berlin for 90 minutes, and they were not deciding, they were scheduling. He killed himself in a bunker in April 1945. It began with 2 words on 1 sheet of paper, and it ended with paperwork filed by ordinary men.